LaVille is a place that's got a tremendous amount of potential. I think it's very conveniently located between two nice towns as well as two bigger cities. So there's a lot of opportunity for our kids to get a lot of good experiences both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. My name is Hostrawser. I'm the athletic director and head football coach. I grew up in Walkerton, Indiana. My dad was a high school teacher at John Glenn High School for 30-some years, and I basically grew up in that school corporation. Liked the small town and got a lot of good memories over there. First, I went to college at Kentucky Wesleyan down in Owensboro, Kentucky to play baseball, and then I transferred back up to Bethel College and played at Bethel College. It was more of an academic move, to be honest with you. I changed my majors from computer science to education, and you could get licensed at Bethel College. They had a great placement rate for teachers, and their program's very, very strong. So I made the decision to go there. I had options to go to Valparaiso University or Goshen College, as well as Bethel College to play baseball, so I just chose Bethel. I chose to go into education for two reasons, to be honest with you. You know, obviously my dad being a teacher and growing up in the school system, I always knew I wanted to coach. I don't ever recall getting an A from him either. You know, he made me work extremely hard, and that was one thing. He really instilled in me the definition of responsibility, and you're responsible for whatever it is you earn in whatever class it is, and that includes his. Actually, I was able to get a coaching job while I was doing my student teaching, which opened up the opportunity to play and coach at John Glenn High School, and actually helped me get my first teaching job at John Glenn High School. My dad was the head football coach at John Glenn for 13 seasons, a head baseball coach, head wrestling coach, drove bus, kept scoreboards, did just about everything there. Yeah, he was still in the building at the time when I started teaching. It was kind of weird, honestly, because a lot of the teachers that taught me were still in the building. And when I became athletic director at John Glenn, I was kind of now my old teacher's boss. So that was kind of a weird situation too. Yeah, I was a teacher at John Glenn for 4 years. I taught business and coached. I was assistant football coach and head baseball coach during those 4 years. Then I became athletic director, and I was there for 5 years as the athletic director. That was my first athletic director job, because sports has been a big part of my life and helped me get to where I am today. But the other aspect of it is I wanted to teach business, because I felt if I couldn't get a teaching job, I could get a job using the degree, and I wouldn't have to take a whole bunch more classes and spend a whole bunch more money trying to get through school. I had a couple stops. Went to Penn High School and was the assistant athletic director there for 3 years. Then following that, I came here to LaVille for 1 year. And then following that, I decided to open a restaurant and go down that route. While I was opening a restaurant, I was helping a friend out, and I was the athletic director at Oregon Davis for 1.5 years. And then I ran the restaurant. When we closed that, I came back here, and I've been here ever since. The opportunity, honestly, when I interviewed at Penn, I didn't think I would get that job, to be honest with you. I had some friends that were the athletic director up there. I knew Ben Krasiak very well, and I just wanted to see what they were about, to be honest. And when I interviewed with the coaching staff and then with the administrative team, everything just clicked, and I was awarded that opportunity to go there. And at that time, Penn was, I guess, thought of very, very highly amongst all the other schools, and it was the place to be. So I felt very lucky to have the opportunity to go there. I came back here to LaVille because, honestly, Jeff Raylander was the principal here, and he was actually an assistant principal at Penn, and I became pretty good friends with him. So when the AD job opened here, he asked me to come interview for it, and they kind of made me an offer I couldn't really refuse at that time. So I made the switch and came back to this environment and stayed for a year. Things were a lot different back then. This was in 2005, and made the decision then to get into the restaurant business for some odd reason. Well, I had a good friend named Dave Reisner, still a good friend. He owns Beef O'Brady's up in Granger. And at that time, he owned one in Elkhart as well. And never worked a day in my life in a restaurant and until I owned one, and then learned a lot really fast. So I enjoyed that. It was a really neat experience to get in, and now you're in charge of hiring and managing your workers and the budgets and everything else. But very, very, very demanding business. I got a lot of respect for restaurateurs because it's a very hard business. Everybody thinks your pockets are lined with money, but the reality is a lot of times you're just scraping by. Yeah, I think the economy at the time, the franchise was based out of Tampa, Florida, and a lot of their marketing and those sorts of things wasn't really geared for this area, to be honest with you, and I think that impacted amongst other things. But talked to Chuck Phillips and Dr. Terry Barker when the AD job came open here, and again they invited me to interview, and I was lucky enough to land the position, and really enjoyed it to this point. Yeah, having that real life experience like that, the reality of this is this job is extremely demanding time-wise, and you have to be extremely organized. A lot of times people don't know what you do except when something goes wrong. If an official doesn't show up or a bus doesn't make it, your team's late. There's a lot of those that you have to handle when they come up. However, just to get games to move forward, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that needs to happen in order for those to go seamless for our student athletes. It's very, very challenging, to be honest with you. It's very demanding. However, you surround yourself with good people. We have event supervisors that do a great job for us. We have other administrators in this corporation that step up and help out with supervision. I know on Friday night when I go out to coach football, I can focus on coaching football and the task at hand. And that was one thing when I took the job that I asked. I thought it would be only fair to those student athletes that are playing football that they get my full undivided attention because they need a coach. And people around me have allowed me to do that. I'm very thankful for that. Teachers today, I think there's been a tremendous amount of change to answer. I really think that teachers today are up against it. I think that they have a lot of challenges, especially going through COVID, managing and keeping students engaged and having to do that virtually, let alone, it's a challenge at times when you have a classroom full trying to keep everybody pointed in the right direction. But yet when you're all apart and still trying to do that, that has to be incredibly difficult. I really think technology has impacted things a great deal, made things really convenient, but also could be a major distraction. And I think that's something that teachers have to balance and figure out now that really didn't have that back when I started. I really like to see students that learn the lesson that you get out of it what you put into it. I think that if you work hard, and you're dedicated and you're consistent with that, you're going to reap the benefits. And it takes hard work to get to where you want to get to. I'd like to think our students here graduate with the idea that they have the opportunity to do great things and they have the ability to do great things. When you have the opportunity and the ability and then a belief in oneself, sky's the limit. And I really think that we can instill that through students' activities, not only in the classroom but beyond the classroom, and that's what the role I believe athletics has. Best memory at LaVille, I have several. I mean, goodness gracious. I remember winning a bi-county, the 50th anniversary, by 2 points over John Glenn. And that, the way the students, the way the crowd, the way everybody just reacted, they were just overjoyed. I've got numerous memories on the football field, you know, beating teams that you're not supposed to beat, winning sectional titles, being able to win 2 sectional titles here at the school on our home field is really special. But then there's games where, you know, we had certain players that are out, and we still found a way to win a ball game against Triton when we were extremely shorthanded, and those kids leaving it all on the field. Just those kind of things are extremely special and fun to watch. See the joy of competition and all that comes of it. I think people, honestly, the people that you work with. I feel we all work together here and we support one another. I've been in some really, really good schools. All my stops, honestly, have their own positives in their own unique way. But here it's different, that I feel we all support one another in the classroom, outside the classroom. We try to promote each other, and there's just a lot of support. And I really enjoy that as a administrator, as a coach, and I get to witness kids experiencing success and then learning from that, and that's very, very special here. And I think the opportunity to coach has kept me here, but just the people that we've worked with. I think we all have an eye to keep this place moving forward, not just necessarily be satisfied with where we're at, but wanting to do something just a little bit more, make it a little bit better. And I enjoy that. I enjoy raising the bar and the opportunity to do that. Why LaVille? You're going to find a place to fit in here, and it might not just be one place, it could be several. There's opportunity all around here in terms of what you can accomplish as a student during the school day, after school activities. People fit in, and you have people here that care about you and want to help you succeed. That's why LaVille.